Hi there, Doug Stuman with IT Creations with an Nvidia certified systems GPU server from Gigabyte, the Gigabyte G292-Z40 GPU Server. It's been a while since we've had one of these densely packed 2U platforms. This one supports AMD EPYC CPUs from the 2nd and 3rd generations. As the platform doesn't support the 4th or 5th generation AMD EPYCs, perhaps there's some savings to be had. I'll let you figure that out. In the meantime, if you like our channel, hit that subscribe button. If you're new to this channel, I do understand your reluctance. Let's get to it. I think I described the configuration of a similar system like a Halo troop carrier dropship with a centralized storage and fans to either side. At 2U, it can support up to 8 double-wide Gen4 GPUs, so you can bet there are some very interesting design attributes to make sure the system doesn't turn into a pile of molten slag from all the heat produced. That may be a little dramatic, but come on, it's a server. Servers are typically not as interesting as the latest gaming experience, hence a rather low subscriber rate. And no, you cannot game on this system. Well, I suppose since it does have dual processors and up to 8 GPUs, you could turn it into a platform for game streaming. That said, the primary function, and no, it's not fluent in over 6 million forms of communication, is for AI training, AI inference, high-performance computing, and visual computing. I think that last is where the potential game streaming comes in. On the front of the chassis, storage in the middle with support for SATA, SAS, and up to 4 Gen4 U.2 NVMe drives in those bays with the orange drive release tabs. Blue for SAS and SATA. Or you could go all in on SATA or SAS with all 8 bays. You will need a SAS add-in card to support SAS drives. To either side, a large fan pulls in cool air. The control panel on the right includes the power on button and ID button below that, both with integrated LED. Another button to reset the system, and then LEDs for system status, HDDs, and LAN 1 and LAN 2. No ports or buttons on the other side. Are you interested in the Gigabyte G292-Z40 GPU server? If you are, then for a limited time you can save up to $500 off the purchase price of a system that's listed or one that you can configure at IT Creations that's valued at $5,000 or more. Just click that link for more information. And when you're ready to make a purchase, just mention this video. Need something else? We can hook you up with that too. itcreations.com. All ports are on the back of the system. Those include 2 USB 3.0 ports, 2 10 gigabit Ethernet ports with LAN status LEDs beside each, a system status LED with non-maskable interrupt button below that. Next, an ID button with integrated LED, reset button, a dedicated management port for access to the ASPEED AST2500 baseboard management control module, and VGA port. Below the I/O panel, dual redundant 2200 watt 80 plus platinum or titanium PSUs. Above the I/O panel, 2 PCI slots. 2 large fans to either side pull the GPU scented air out of the chassis. To manage the system, Gigabyte offers 2 options: the Gigabyte Management Console, which is pre-installed, and the Gigabyte Server Management, or GSM, which is available for download. With the Gigabyte Management Console, administrators can manage a single server or a small cluster of servers. It provides real-time health monitoring and management through an easy-to-use graphic interface. You also get automatic event recording, support for standard IPMI specifications, and integration with all storage devices, plus monitoring and control of Broadcom Mega-RAID controllers. GSM, on the other hand, is more of a data center application. Once the GSM agent is installed on each system, administrators can manage multiple clusters of servers simultaneously using a standard browser. GSM has a complete range of utilities compliant with IPMI and Redfish standards. You can also use a command line interface, a mobile app compatible with iOS and Android operating systems, and a plugin enabling administrators the ability to use VMware vCentered monitoring and management. Inside the system, you can see the 2 PCI 4.0 x 16 slots for low-profile cards for support of HD or network interface controllers. With a system like this, for high availability, dual network controllers would also be a benefit, allowing each CPU direct network communications. The CPUs still communicate with each other via AMD's Infinity Fabric. And the controllers themselves, at least those at the top of the stack listed, can provide up to 200 gigabits per second per port. Down each side of the system are 2 GPU cages, each capable of supporting 2 double-wide 300 watt GPUs, 4 down the right and 4 down the left for 8 total. GPUs supported include a number of high-performance options, including the Nvidia V100S, T4 Turing, A100, A180 GB, A40, A2, and L4. Also a single AMD Radeon Instinct MI50 with 32 gigabytes of memory. At least that's what's been vetted by Gigabyte for use on this platform. Since that list was released, Nvidia and AMD have released several next-gen GPUs. That said, these were the only ones tested prior to releasing the platform. It's a fair guess to assume you can install some of the newer cards too. It's only the Hopper H100 and new Blackwell series H200 NVL cards that require a PCI 5.0 interface. They also have a much higher TDP and would not be practical on a system like this. So let's look at one that does work. I was going to go with an AMD card, but we don't have any of the AMD Radeon Instinct MI50s. We have an MI100, which would most likely work in this system, and was designed to compete with Nvidia's A100 40 Gigabyte GPU. Whatever. We're going to look at the Nvidia A100 80 Gigabyte GPU. This card offers dual slot cooling, meaning no integrated fans, but it does take up a 2 PCI slot width in a server. It's specifically for servers and has no video output ports on the card. This one has the highest memory at 80 gigabytes of HBM2E memory. It features Ampere architecture and was released in June of 2021. Under that sleek finish is a circuit board with 54,200 million transistors, 6,912 shading units, 432 texture mapping units, and 160 ropes or raster output units. Let's not talk about that acronym. This card is designed to support AI, data analytics, and high-performance computing, just what this system is designed to excel at. Most, if not all, of these cards do not support DirectX 12, so that may be a problem for a gaming server. The G292-Z40 supports dual inline second or third generation AMD EPYC 7002 or 7003 series CPUs. However, with all the potential heat from GPUs, the CPUs are limited to a TDP of up to 240 watts. Each generation can provide up to 64 physical cores and 128 virtual threads and memory speeds of up to 3,200 megatransfers per second. With 8-channel memory architecture and 16 memory module slots between the two CPUs, each memory module occupies a single memory channel for optimal performance. The system accommodates either registered or load-reduced DDR4 memory modules. Listed in the specs are modules with a 256 gigabyte capacity for up to 4 terabytes of memory. That said, the memory population guidelines do add a note under the supported DIMM types table that says, "This table represents a listing of DIMMs available on AMD EPYC processors at the time of writing." Make of that what you will. Now you may have noticed, with all 8 300-watt GPUs, which combined equals 2,400 watts, plus potentially two 240-watt CPUs at up to 480 watts combined, just the GPUs and CPUs add up to 2,880 watts. So depending on your configuration, it could be dual redundant PSUs, but other configurations, fully loaded, creates a non-fully redundant PSU situation. That's where what Gigabyte calls Smart Crisis Management and Protection, or SCMP, comes into play. With SCMP, if one of the PSUs goes south or the system overheats, the system will throttle the CPUs into an ultra-low power mode to prevent an unexpected shutdown, component damage, or data loss. There are also capacitors within the PSUs that will run the system for literally a few milliseconds, like 10 to 20, until the system can transition to a backup power source. To keep this 2U system cool with dual processors and support for up to 8 double-wide GPUs, there are 8 fans. The 2 in the front blow cool air down the GPU cages to either side, which is then vented out through perforated panels on the side of the system. Another perforated panel, right beside that, pulls air in to cool the next set of GPU cages at the back of the chassis. 2 more fans at the back pull the air out. Those are exclusively for GPU cooling. Cooling the center interior of the chassis with the CPUs, memory modules, low-profile PCI slots, and PSUs are 2 large fans located just behind the front drive bays and backplane. This system is designed for exceptional airflow. I do hope you enjoyed this short overview of the Gigabyte G292-Z40 GPU server. This system truly has a very compact design at 2U, yet still room for dual processors and up to 8 double-wide high-performance GPUs. That is a technological tour de force. If you have any questions, post them in the comments section below. If you're interested in learning more about this system, I placed a few links in the description, also below, or you can click that link right there, itcreations.com. Until next time, I'm Doug Stuman with IT Creations. Thanks for watching.